Okay, let's unpack this. Imagine you've put time, maybe money, into your clinic's website.
Mm-hmm.
It looks good. Maybe you're even running ads, doing SEO, sending people right there.
You're getting traffic.
Exactly. But, the phone's quiet. That booking form, empty. It's like the traffic hits a wall. Does that ring a bell?
Oh, absolutely. It's a really common frustration for lots of practices. You build this digital front door, people look in, and then just walk away.
Yeah, it feels like something's broken, right?
Definitely. A disconnect.
And that disconnect is exactly what we're diving into today. We're looking at an article from UpMedico. It's called Landing Pages for Doctors, 9 Best Practices.
And they call it a friendly no fluff guide, which I like.
Me too.
Yeah.
And they make this pretty bold claim straight off. Your website might be leaking patients.
Leaking patients. It's
Yeah.
quite a visual. So our job today, based just on this source, is to figure out why that leak might be happening.
And more importantly, break down fix these 9 best practices they lay out for building landing pages that actually, stop people scrolling and get them booking.
Right. Plugging the leaks, basically.
So why should you care? Well, maybe you run a practice. Maybe you manage one. Maybe you're in healthcare marketing.
Or maybe you're just interested in how online strategy works differently across industries.
Exactly. Understanding how you build trust online, especially when users might be vulnerable or anxious, it's pretty crucial. We think you'll find some really practical stuff here.
So the article kicks off by identifying, well, the main problem. Why don't typical clinic sites convert?
Okay.
Their argument is they feel more like a resume than a helpful conversation.
A resume versus a conversation. Okay, what does that actually mean in practice? What makes a site feel like a resume?
Think about it. A resume lists achievements, history, qualifications. It's all about the clinic, right?
Yeah, about us.
Exactly. The source says common problems are things like contact info being hard to find, no obvious next step for the visitor.
So it's all, look how great we are.
Pretty much, instead of focusing on the patient's problem or question.
So instead of just listing degrees, the conversation should be more like, okay, what's hurting? How can we help you specifically?
You got it. And the source really hammers this home with a quote from UpMedico's CEO, Angelo Rosati.
Oh, yeah. What's the quote?
He says visitors, and this is key, don't want to explore. They want help now.
Now, that's the word.
Right. They're often dealing with pain. They might be anxious, maybe overwhelmed. They're not browsing like they would on Amazon. They need a solution urgently.
That urgency, it really changes the game compared to, say, online shopping.
Totally.
Which leads to another really interesting point the article makes. What makes these medical landing pages so different? Why can't you just use standard marketing page tactics?
Well, the source points out 3 main reasons. First, you're not just selling a service, you're selling reassurance.
Reassurance, okay.
Trust is just everything. Someone's putting their health in your hands, potentially. So every little thing on that page needs to build confidence.
The stakes are way higher. Makes
Yeah.
sense. What's the second difference?
The booking journey, it's often longer. It involves more steps, more touch points.
Right, people might not book on the first visit.
Exactly. They might see an ad, visit the page, then maybe look up reviews, maybe get an email. The landing page has to work with all of that. It's about warming them up, not just going for an instant sale.
So it's part of a bigger picture.
Mm-hmm. And the third point is super important in healthcare.
Let me guess.
Ethics. You nailed it. You absolutely must stay ethical. The source is really clear on this. No scare tactics, no over-the-top claims.
You have to be accurate, helpful.
Medically sound, yeah. But the trick, the article says, is doing all that without sounding, dry or boring, especially to someone who's already stressed out.
Wow, okay. Balancing trust and ethics with actually engaging someone who needs help? That's a fine line.
It really is.
So how does the source suggest navigating that? This must be where their 9 best practices come in, right? Their actual blueprint.
That's it. They present this as a sort of proven layout. Let's walk through them.
All right, practice number 1, start strong, above the fold. This is that crucial first impression, what you see without scrolling. They say you have like 3 seconds.
Max.
Yeah.
So the headline is critical. It needs to speak directly to the patient's problem and offer a solution fast.
Got it. Like the example they give. Tired of back pain? Book a same-day physio appointment. Problem, solution, urgency. Boom.
Right. And then immediately after, a subheadline that builds trust, like trusted by 1,200 plus patients in Birmingham. Something concrete.
Okay, so you hit the pain point, then immediately offer credibility. What about the call to action, the button?
It needs to be impossible to miss. Big, bold, clear text. Check appointment times is a good example. It feels like a lower commitment first step.
Makes sense. And they also mention quick wins right at the top.
Yeah, things like your clinic logo, maybe star ratings if you have good ones, and a sticky book now button.
Sticky meaning it stays visible even when you scroll.
Exactly. Keeps that action always available.
Okay, moving on. Number 2, why patients choose you. This isn't just listing services, is it?
No, definitely not. The article stresses focusing on the benefits for the patient, what makes getting care with you easier or faster or, more personal.
The things that solve common frustrations, like waiting lists or feeling rushed.
Right. Their examples are good. Specialist care, no long waits, actual follow-up, easy online booking.
I keep it short, visual, because people skim.
Exactly. Bullet points, icons, make it scannable.
Got it. Practice 3, real patient stories, social proof.
Hugely important in healthcare. It's one thing for the clinic to say they're great.
It's totally different hearing it from an actual patient.
Right. The source suggests maybe 1 or 2 short written reviews, ideally with a name, maybe a photo. Or even better, a short video like 30, 60 seconds.
And they had that example quote.
Oh.
Something about booking and being seen the same day.
Yeah. I booked in the morning and by lunch I saw the doctor. That was a game changer. Laura P. That kind of thing speaks directly to someone needing help now.
Definitely powerful. Okay, practice 4, what you treat.
Simple but essential. People need to quickly see if you actually handle their specific problem. Make it super clear, easy to scan.
So list common conditions plainly, like sports injuries, headaches, arthritis.
Exactly. Those specifics help people self-identify immediately. You can always link off to a full list if needed.
Good point. All right, number 5 feels really key. Meet the doctors. The source says, people book people, not clinics.
This is so crucial. You're asking someone to trust you with their health. A friendly, professional photo is a must.
And the bio shouldn't be like a scientific paper abstract.
No,
right?
no. Keep it human. Mention experience, maybe a bit about their approach, like I've been helping patients with X for 15 plus years, but also include the credentials, the badges.
So blend the expertise with the empathy. Like Harvard trained, but also passionate about patient care.
Precisely. Builds both trust and connection.
Okay, practice 6. Make booking stupid simple. I like the phrasing.
Me too. And they're very firm on this point. Don't make people hunt for the booking link or leave the page.
Embed the calendar right there.
Yes. Whether it's Calendly or your own system, put the actual booking tool on the landing page.
And use simple language around it.
Yeah, like 1, pick a time. 2, fill in your info. 3, you're booked. Just remove every possible bit of friction.
Makes total sense. Number 7, answer their questions before they ask. The FAQ section.
It might seem basic, but it really tackles those common anxieties head on. Plus, it saves your team phone time.
And the source lists the top questions you should probably include.
Yeah, the big ones. Insurance.
Yeah.
Cost. Availability, like can I get in this week? Do I need a referral?
And use an accordion style, so it doesn't take up huge space.
Right. Especially important for mobile users. Keeps it neat.
Okay, nearly there. Practice 8. End with a confident CTA. A final nudge.
You've built trust, explained how you help, made booking easy. Now you need to wrap it up with one last clear call to action.
Something encouraging but direct. Like, get expert care without the wait. Book your visit now.
Exactly. And the button text itself should be action-focused again, like schedule my appointment.
And they mention adding trust signals near this final button, too.
Yeah, definitely. Little reassurances like no credit card required, fully confidential, most insurance accepted. Just reinforcing that safety and trust right at the point of action.
Good idea. And finally, number 9, the trust-boosting footer. The nuts and bolts at the bottom.
Don't skip this. It grounds everything. Full address, ideally with a map, phone, email.
The legal stuff, too. Privacy policy, terms.
Absolutely non-negotiable. Links to those, maybe a link to your main services page, social media icons if you use them.
And they mentioned optional live chat or WhatsApp.
Yeah, as another way to handle quick questions right away, adds another layer of accessibility.
Wow. Okay, that's a really comprehensive structure. Each piece seems designed to address that specific patient mindset. The urgency, the need for trust.
Exactly. It flows logically to guide someone from uncertainty to action.
So the big question, does the source say this actually works? Did they share any results from clinics using this approach?
They did, yeah. They shared data from over 40 clinics they'd helped implement this, and the numbers are pretty striking.
Okay, lay mommy. What were things like before versus after?
So before using these landing pages, the clinics were seeing conversion rates, people booking around 3 to 5%.
Okay, pretty low.
Yeah. After implementing this structure, that jumped to between 12 and 25%.
Whoa, that's huge, like potentially quadrupling conversions.
Or more, yeah.
Yeah.
Massive improvement. And the cost per booking
Did that go down too?
dropped significantly. It went from about 70 Cs per booking down to somewhere between 25 and 35.
So way more bookings, and each one costs less to acquire. That's the dream, right?
Pretty much. And they also mentioned the qualitative feedback, what the clinics themselves noticed.
Right. What did they say?
Things like bookings doubled in 3 weeks, and one clinic noted, people used to browse, now they book.
So it clearly changes user behavior
Yeah.
from just looking to actually taking that step.
It seems so. That focus on the user's immediate needs, building trust fast, making it super simple, it appears to make a real difference.
So the source kind of wraps it up with a checklist, right? Just reinforcing those key elements.
Yeah, basically. Clear headline, check. Trust signals early, check. Testimonials, doctor profiles, is it relevant? Easy booking, especially mobile. Ethical messaging, strong final CTA. It covers all the bases we discussed.
Okay, so boiling it all down, the main takeaway from this Up Medico article is for healthcare landing pages, it's less about showing off and more about what? Immediately connecting with the visitor's problem.
Exactly. Addressing their pit and point, building that trust super quickly, and then making the path to getting held incredibly clear and simple.
All while sticking to those important ethical standards.
Absolutely. It's a specific formula tailored for a specific high-stakes context.
It really highlights how, thoughtful design and clear communication online can genuinely help people who are looking for care. It's not just about clicks, it's about connection.
Well said. And that kind of leads us to a final thought, something for you, the listener, to maybe chew on.
Ooh, okay. A provocative thought.
Yeah, think about this. If tailoring the online experience so carefully to users who are anxious, maybe in pain, needing help now, if that can yield such dramatic results in healthcare,
Right.
where else online are we maybe missing the mark? Are there other situations where users feel overwhelmed or vulnerable or have an urgent need where we're not providing that same level of reassurance, clarity, and just a simple path to a solution?
That's a great question. Applying these healthcare principles elsewhere. Interesting. Where else are users feeling that kind of pressure online?
Something to think about. How could that focus on empathy and simplicity make a difference in other digital interactions?